I will do the simulated recall of the class which I did practice teaching for ELI class. And this is the table of contents. I will overview of my class, and I will continue to the specific learning activities. And lastly, I will reflect my class overview. This is the information of the class, and it was on 5th of December 2023, and it was on Delaware State University ELI classroom, and the instructor was me, and the topic was conjunction types, punctuations, and sentence pattern. And there were 3 international students. Bison was from China, and Zuika is from Cote d'Ivoire, which is West African countries, and Donghan is from Korea. Their level was in the beginning, because each level is a little bit different, but though they are all in the beginning level, and it was about an hour from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. And for the first learning activity, I review the previous class. Actually, this class is the 3rd class of the composing sentence grammar composing sentence unit. I from the diagnostic test, I let students write of their self-introductions, and I found out that there are a lot of run-on sentences, and students don't know of the right usage of punctuations, and some sentence was not completed. So I thought I need to start from beginning to compose the sentence. So I started from parts of speech, and I continued the 2 dimensions of language, which is word, phrase, and sentence. And this class, I need to have a closer look on different type of sentence pattern, and I gave students opportunity to compose the sentence by themselves. So I started from reviewing their grammatical knowledge to have a smooth class. And I continue to focus more on grammatical terms and grammatical patterns to have a closer look on sentence pattern. I think students need to have an understanding about conjunctions. So I started from types of conjunctions, which is first, it was coordinating conjunctions to connecting to independent clause. And I gave example sentence according to each conjunction, so that students can have a better understanding of the meaning of conjunctions and usage by the example sentence. Students read aloud each sentence, and they share the meaning of each conjunctions. And I continue to subordinating conjunction, which makes complex sentence. And I focused on two different sentence structures. First one is starting from dependent clause and use comma. And the other one is starting from independent clause without using comma. It was complicating for students to know the difference between the first sentence structure and the second sentence structures. So I gave them example sentence for two types. So for example, the conjunction of time, which is before. So before the class started, comma, I left, and I left without comma. And before the class started, I gave the comparison examples of several conjunctions so that students had a more understanding of the different sentence structures. And I continued to arrange the sentence by themselves, by students. I gave them a flashcard, I gave them a cards of clauses, comma, and periods. And I gave them directions. So making a sentence with using the conjunction that I gave. So students arranged the sentence, and I wanted students to practice on complex sentence, such as using comma and periods. And by converting the sentence by themselves, they has a better idea on composing the sentence, especially complex sentence. And next, I wanted students to compose the sentence by themselves on the Word file on the laptop. To compose the sentence, I gave them a picture to describe, which is a scaffolding, and also I gave some keywords to have a clear expression to describe the picture. Before they create the sentence, we discussed what we can see in the picture, and they compare two people with their appearance and what their posture, so that we make the source to compose the complex sentence and compound sentence. And lastly, based on the sentence they created, students use the grammar checker by themselves and see which grammar error they had and their grammar error patterns and how to fix it and why that is an error, so that afterwards they can use grammar checker as daily, so they realize their grammar error patterns and their clear understanding for sentence patterns. For conclusion, I think the activities was useful and beneficial because students actively engaged in the activities, and for example, arranging the sentences, they could see what other students are doing, and then so they could learn from each student, and by converting the sentence structure, they have better understanding to compose the sentences. However, some grammatical terms are unfamiliar to students, such as coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, or independent clause, dependent clause. Those terms are hard to mention, and it's hard for students to recall. So I would rather find the other easier way for students to remind those grammatical terms. And I think for the next class, I may prepare the more basic activities, such as fill in the blank with the appropriate conjunctions, so that I can check students if student has the clear understanding about the meaning of conjunctions and the usage of conjunctions. Also, as assignments, I gave students I gave two assignments. First one is identifying the sentence patterns, and those sentences are extracted from more student authentic material, which is grammar in context. So it was about online shopping, so that students can do a reading comprehension, and also they can identify the sentence pattern. And second assignment was writing their future career and their future jobs by using 3 different sentence patterns. So students may think about their future job, and also they can compose the sentence by themselves, and also they can check their sentence by grammar checker, so that they can self check their sentence error pattern. Overall, I got some other missions for my class improvement, and I will improve my class after reviewing the recording of my class.